putting the best possible spin here on it, was that, you know what, prayer is natural. It's just natural. You got to find your own way. Whatever works best for you, it's going to come naturally to you. And in my experience, that's just not the case at all. At all. Prayer is hard. The spiritual life is challenging. It is difficult. You can't simply assume that without any effort at all, it's going to develop or even be present. It requires a determination. It requires habits. It requires the support of Christian friendship. So let's just get that out there right away, and we need to come to accept that. Prayer is not easy. Prayer is not easy. And it's not easy for a number of different reasons. The most fundamental reason is because we are sons and daughters of Adam. We are fallen. So our intellect is darkened, our will is weakened, we are lazy, we are proud, we find it difficult to obey the Lord and His commandment to speak to Him and to be with Him. We have got our own agendas, we're busy, we're distracted in 1,000 different ways. We can be overcome with presumption, believing that in the end everything's going to work out, no need to really give an effort in this area. Or we can be overcome with despair. I'm so broken, I'm so sinful, why would God want to listen to me? In all of these areas, we confront the real challenge of the spiritual life. In the garden, as the Lord is preparing for His death, what's the response of His closest friends, of Peter, of James, and John? They fall asleep. The dudes fall asleep. And that's a symbol not only of the weakness of the flesh, but the weakness of the soul. The Lord calls us to walk with Him and to be with Him, but so often we are distracted, we are overcome by the burdens of our life and by the struggles within and without, by our own, laziness. We have to pray for the grace to be awake and to enter into the battle of the spiritual life, because it is a battle. The great spiritual writers speak about prayer as a battle, as a combat. Scripture, St. Paul, speaks about the life of prayer as a battle. Who are the enemies in this battle? We've talked about some of the temptations, but who are the real concrete enemies that we must do battle with in the spiritual life? Well, traditionally there are three put forward by the church's theologians and spiritual writers. And these three enemies are on the prowl right now. You encounter them every day. They are the flesh, the world, and the devil. The flesh, the world, and the devil. Keep those in mind as you endure temptations to give up prayer, to substitute action for prayer, to think that there's no real practical need for prayer. It's a nice exercise like stretching, but do you really need it? No. Do not believe that temptation, which comes from any one of these three enemies.